Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of M.O.T.R Base. My name is Boogdan and I'm the host for the show. Now this is a very unique show today because we have the Moshi giveaway coming up pretty soon, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Moshi Juice line. Yeah, that's right, the Moshi Juice line. Moshi saw it fit to send me the entire 7 Cloud Edition lineup from their Max VG, as well as a bunch of 50/50 as well. So that's something that's going to be really good, and I was very pleased to receive that and go over it. So let's see what my actual thoughts are on this Moshi line. Just because they're good enough to send it to me, you never know. Alright, so first up today we have the High Park. Now High Park is a banana and strawberry, or I should say strawberry and banana smoothie flavor. This is what they say, you get a stronger strawberry hit as you go along. And that's the #1 on my juice favorites. The High Park, that it works out well. It's something that when I tried it right from the get-go, I was like, that is definitely a good Ejuice right there. Now I don't really know how it gets stronger, but it is a good. I definitely taste that banana. I do smell that banana quite potent as soon as that goes on the dripper and you get a bit of heat to it. That is banana goodness. And it's not like I do a whole lot of banana vapes. So this is something that's a little bit more unique to me. And I enjoyed it right off the bat. This one was a definite plus for me. It's something I didn't have to get used to. It was something as soon as I dripped, it was boom. Excellent. And like I said, they say that the strawberry gets stronger over time. Each hit, the strawberry is supposed to get more intense, but I don't find that it gets more intense. It is a good flavor. I enjoy it very much so, but I don't find it gets more intense. But that's just me. Am I going to vape it? Actually, yes, I am going to vape that one. There are a couple in this lineup that I wouldn't be vaping. No, I will tell you that right now. But this is one of them that I would be all about. This is a good little juice. Now, next up, we have the St. Clair right there. Now, St. Clair is supposed to be a gummy. It is supposed to be cola without the fizz. That's right, cola without the fizz with the hint of cherry gummies to round this all out. And this is another one that is good. It's definitely, it's a more unique flavor. This is kind of a gourmet flavor, if I do say so. Not that it's just gummies and cola, but it's something that you don't see out there a lot. It's not a basic flavor. It is something that's a little bit more complex, and actually you got to take it in a bit and be like, yeah, that's good. I likes that. You know what? And they say it's without the fizz, but it almost seems like you do. I know there's no fizz in it, yes, but it almost seems like there is. It is really close to that cola flavor. And this is something I also enjoy. It's a different type of vaping experience for me. It's not like your basic juices. Now, there's nothing wrong with basic juices. I love a lot of basic juices out there. But this one is more, it's a well-rounded flavor with all that's put into it. It works really well. It came together to really do good. I like that one. Now, not everyone likes this one. I will not lie to you. If I had this, I don't just have these juices myself. When I get these juices, I give them out to a bunch of people. I don't give them out, but everyone that comes in, they get to test out these juices. They get to tell me what their thoughts and feelings on it are. That way I find it's not so much of a one-sided situation. I get to see what it's like for other people, not just myself. My taste buds are different than other people's taste buds. Their thoughts and feelings are different than my thoughts and feelings. And I have had some people come in and be like, for this one. For me, I think this one is a I enjoyed this one, but other people, not everyone either. It's not for everyone. It's definitely for me. That is a hands down on this one. Now, next up, hit my elbow. Next one, we got the Junction. Now, I won't lie with this Junction. At the very beginning, the first time I had the Junction, did I care for it? I did not care for the Junction, but now it's on the 3rd of my list. What I find with a lot of juices, you have to give it time. You can't go off that initial taste test. Warm up to it, try it again. fix out your taste buds, wait a day, try it again. I was going through every juice all at once, so it's all this big old fluff of everything. Now, the Junction is a sweet custard in the corners of your mouth with a creamy and light finish. This is what they say this is. Now, I don't really get a sweet custard in the sides of my mouth. I don't get quite that description of it. But it's definitely a good custard. Now, like I said, when I first had it, did I enjoy this? Absolutely not. It's something that after a few vapes, I came to it. I was like, okay, I understand it. This is what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Now that's sometimes, I don't know about you guys out there watching this, but for myself, that's how a lot of my juices go. Never go off the first thoughts and feelings. Even if you're in a store and you try out a juice, I'm sure you've been in a store, tried out a juice and be like, that is the bee's knees. That is awesome sauce right there. But as soon as you get home and you start dripping it, you start filling up your tank, you're like, no, that wasn't for me. Whatever happened in the store to the magic to when I got home, it's gone. It's out the window. It's no longer there anymore. Now, this also works in the reverse for juices. When you try it and you first don't like it, take it home still. Try it again. Get used to it. Feel it out. Try, work it around a little bit. And I'll go smack your lips if you need to. And this is what this one did for me. This was an excellent, or a not so enjoyable vape to begin with. No. Then I tried it, and I got used to it. I've gone over all these juices in the past 7 days. I have given them a hard hit in tanks, in drippers, in everything to come to this conclusion. And the Junction is A-okay for me. I'm all about that Junction now. Alright, so next up, we have the Rosedale. Oh my goodness. Now, Rosedale is supposed to be a chocolate milk aroma that fills your mouth. And it's supposed to have some spicy notes at the end of it. Hazelnut and cream. I really like how they describe these things. They go right all out with it, don't they? I definitely taste that chocolate in there. There's no doubt about that. And the chocolate, it's a good chocolate. I've had some chocolates that just taste off. They're just like, you can tell it's chocolate, but you're like, what kind of chocolate is that? Is that, that's definitely no Swiss chocolate. That is some sort of back road city horrible chocolate. But this one is a good little chocolate. I don't quite taste the hazelnut. And I don't really get a lingering creamy mocha. I just kind of taste the chocolate more than anything in this. And it's not like it's an intense in your face chocolate. It's just a good chocolate. Now I'm sure that all had to culminate together to pull off this particular flavor with everything in there, but I'm not tasting much of anything else. Now I wouldn't say it is fully chocolate. I just can't pick out what the other ones are. I know it from reading it, but I can't quite pick them out. It's still in there and it's still mixed together. And again, not one I was too particularly fond of right out of the gate. It's something different. It's not a watermelon. It's not a green apple. Oh no, those ones you're basic, you can get that. When you come down to these recipes, when they're more complex, give yourself some time, warm up to it, and find out what it's like. And I did. This is another one which is a perfect example of this. Now we have Leslieville. Now I'm going to pull this one right off my reading chart right here. Leslieville. It's an orchard of flavor. Leslieville has the crispness of a fresh apple, the tangy smack of wild berries, and the juiciness of a ripe peach. The palate will pick up more flavors on each vape. Perfect as an all-day selection. Now that definitely does definitely does sound good now, doesn't it? Now Leslieville was the opposite of all the other juices. Well, the last two juices. I started off with Leslieville really enjoying. Really get that peach in there. But I didn't quite so much enjoy it afterwards. The initial taste test on this for me is great. I enjoyed it right out of the gate. I was like, yeah, this one is going to be awesome. And it is for a few puffs. It's great to have around, especially if you have a dripper. You go, you have a few shots of it, and then you're good. But when you go all day with this one, it says it's an all-day vape. But for me, it's not an all-day vape. It's having a few quick shots of it, putting it down, putting something else in there, coming back to it later on, maybe even the next day, having a few shots of it. Is it something that I'd have around to use? Definitely. It's a little bit different from what I have. But is this an all-day vape for me? Not so much so. But it's still a nice little juice. If you like peaches, then this is going to be right up your alley. It's a very light flavor. It's very uplifting, is what it is. It is, it's juicy. It's very juicy. Is what this one I find in the mouth, right? Like you've had juice. That's the easiest way for me to put it. You've had a bit of juice. You've had some peach and good juice. But I'm not a big peach fan altogether for a long day here's and there. Yeah, even a glass of peach juice is alright, but it's not for me every day. Now, it could be for you every day. I've had people in here who enjoy that Leslieville. I've also had people in here who don't like that Leslieville at all. My partner who does all my editing for me, he's a very particular person, and he was just like, so I can't go off anything that he says because everything he tries I think is awesome, and he's just like, no, I don't like any of that. He likes like 2 juices. He likes 2 juices out of everything. So anyways, that is the Leslieville for you guys. Now we have Union Loops. Now that is that's coming up on the 5th. Because for the Union Loops, I'm not that big a fan of this Union Loops. It's supposed to be a Fruit Loops, and I think it's because I've had better Fruit Loops, is what it comes down to, and I'm really like upping the bar when it comes to my Fruit Loop flavors, because there's so many different types of Fruit Loops. You smell it, and you go, yeah, that's Fruit Loops. That is definitely Fruit Loops. Now, I got that so waked up with so many juices now. It's, now I had this one, and I gave it a fair shot. I went over and over and over again with these Fruit Loops. I really wanted to love this Fruit Loops, and I mean I really wanted to because I love Fruit Loops myself. I'm all about the Fruit Loops. But a lot of people say it's too creamy for the Fruit Loops. And that's what a general understanding is from a lot of people who have tried this in the area. And for me, the Fruit Loops is just like it needs more of something or it needs less of something to really hit what that Fruit Loops is supposed to be. Now for you, you may enjoy this. Some people come in here, they're like, yeah, Union Loops, that's alright. For me, I'm just like, nah, I would rather another Fruit Loops flavor. I'm not going to say any particular, but I would rather another Fruit Loops flavor. And that's just because I've had so many of the Fruit Loops that my mind is definitely biased to where Fruit Loops is supposed to be and where this one is right now. Is it still an alright little juice for some people? Or yeah, vape for some people. Definitely. For me, I would rather go with another one. When you're trying to mimic a specific flavor, it's very hard to get what everyone loves. And that's what it comes down to. It's not that they've done anything wrong or that the juice is bad itself. Is everyone has a very specific remembrance of what that flavor is supposed to be or what they think it is supposed to be like. And to me, this is off for sure. That's why it's down towards the bottom of my list in the Cloud line. It could be for you. It could be for you. It's not for me. And I wanted it to be. That's so sad. Alright guys, so the last but not least from the Cloud lineup, the Max VG lineup, or the higher VG lineup, is Yorkville. Yorkville is also not for me. It is... this is another one I'm going to have to read the actual description for you. To be... I'll read the description first before I go ahead. I got this lovely descriptions right here. Yorkville, like a warm Snickerdoodle cookie, a vape of Yorkville starts with a creamy, full-bodied intake and is complemented with a strong cinnamon on the exhale. Subtle notes of vanilla and roasted almond wait to be discovered on the next inhale, allowing for a complex and engrossing vape. But Yorkville is a very complicated vape. Very complicated. My initial take of Yorkville was of running through the woods in northern Alberta and then getting hit in the face with a tree. That was my initial take on Yorkville. I was turned off by it right out of the gate. I didn't know what to do with it. I was like, and then I tried it over and over and over again. So am I still at that initial feeling of the bush in northern Alberta? Not so much so. But again, this is a juice that's not meant for someone like me. The more complex flavors, like I said, they're really hard to get down. Or not hard to get down. They're really, you need to have a more unique taste palette. Let's put it that way. And Yorkville just doesn't really do this for me right now. It's at the bottom of my Cloud lineup. Now that doesn't mean that this juice isn't enjoyed by other people, like I said. And it's really hard to judge from this review. It's like, what are you going to like? What is someone else going to like? Because you don't get to taste anything through this camera. You don't get to smell any of this aroma. Now, some people have been in here and they love that Yorkville. They die for that Yorkville. There's someone in here the other day, David Marsh. He loves it. He was like, yeah, this is, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm thoroughly right up about this. And I was just like, yeah, well, you're kind of crazy. But still, just because I don't like it, he loved it. And that's how juices go. Not that it's a bad vape. It isn't a bad vape. The flavor is just not quite there for me. It's not like I get a strong throat hit. It's not like anything goes wrong with it. It's that Sorry, I lost my train of thought altogether. Oh, okay, it's not for me. It's just not for me. But that is the Cloud lineup edition from these. Now, I'd just like to mention also that with the Union Loops in the 50-50 to the Cloud line, I get more flavor from that Union Loops than I did in the actual Cloud lineup. That Union Loops was closer to what I needed it to be for myself. You get a little bit more flavor in that 50-50, you get some more PG in there, and that was a better vaping experience than it was in the other one. Same thing with all the other juices. They get a little bit more enhanced, and that's the PG carrying that flavor as opposed to the VG carrying the Clouds. Now, would I take one over the other? Not so much so, but still, you're going to get a different experience from where you're going to go with the lineup, if it's going into a tank, if it's going into a dripper, if it's going into anything. So keep that in mind whenever you're going to go pick up some Moshi, what it can be like for you. Don't always just go for max VG because you get Clouds. Do some research or even just think about it a little bit. Could the 50-50 be alright for me? Everyone loves seeing some Clouds. I love seeing Clouds just as much as the next guy, but I also love having the full vaping experience of that flavor that comes with it. Alright guys, thank you for watching this. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Thank you very much guys. Have an excellent day.